It's figured out. Stupid. Okay. Oh my God, I'm really excited to talk to you people because I have a lot to talk about with you. The live stream of the Eric Zane Show Podcast is brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid, a car fixing facility, the best in the business. They are on, if you're in West Michigan, along 44th Street, there's a side street called Stafford, which is just east of 131. Go there and get your car repaired. Specializing in Asian cars, domestics, and Europeans to some degree. Just don't take your Volkswagen there. That's all you got to know. Fantastic place to do get your car repaired. Irvines.com is their website. Go check out the long list of Google reviews from customers who don't have podcasts and aren't paid to talk about them. That's all you need, really. I mean, how often have we sat there and said, all right, I think I need to check out this good or service. I wonder what people say about it. And then it's like, oh, well, it's doing pretty well. I should call upon them. That's how it goes at Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. Awesome, awesome place. While I'm at it, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. You can give them a call. Call Mario at 231-332-6505. Established in 1987, Van Dyke Mortgage, NMLS number 3035. There, I'm legal. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. First-time mortgage, 10th-time mortgage, refi. You need some cash out of your home. A key sponsor of the show. Please call upon the sponsors always. That really helps things for me to keep this show where it's at. Okay, we do it each and every day. From the Metal Works Body Shop. Body Shop Fear Bunker Studio. On your mark, get set, go!
And now, here's a guy who has never won a congeniality award at any radio station, anywhere.
I will fight you in the street.
It's the Eric Zane Show Podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
Thank you, John. Hey, welcome into the Eric Zane Show Podcast. This is a daily rant-filled, expletive-filled podcast covering news, nonsense, and my personal shenanigans. Some have described this as the most liberal Republican talk show on the planet. Eric Zane, a liberal Republican. Is that even a thing? I don't know. I don't think it is. I pack a handgun all the time, every time, because of my concealed pistol license. I'm pro-life, a conservative who hates stupidity. And there is a lot of stupidity in the world. Man, holy crap. We have absolutely so much to talk about today, and the laundry list is extensive. Let me just tell you that on today's show, breaking overnight, some hillbilly racist redneck NASCAR fan in Alabama has tried to intimidate black NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace. Am I saying that right? Bubba Wallace? Yes. I get him confused with Bubba Watson, which is like a different sport and a different color. We got to talk about Trump getting his nose rubbed in caca in Oklahoma, including Tom Petty going after the president from beyond the grave. What? Yep, it's true. Wait until you hear this. Listener Dirk Lee appears to be right about the slippery slope of tearing down statues. Ford Motor Company updates their plan about their public introduction of the new Ford Bronco on O.J. Simpson's birthday. One of my favorite stories of the year, by the way. That they said, all right, we're going to unveil the new Bronco on the Juice's birthday. Ah! A story I meant to talk about Friday about a killer monkey in India. This is incredible. And a local lady is getting screwed over by the local Karen population. I think I'm going to try to put myself into the shoes of the locals in this community not far from where I live right now. It's known as Granville, Michigan. Florida man is back with a great appearance at a Walmart store. Got that? And a sweet grandpa's passing caused the family to search in the attic, for, try to clean out grandpa's house. What they found will change their lives forever in a terrific way. Grandpa knew what he was doing. Okay? But first, it was just an absolutely fantastic weekend for Father's Day in the Eric Zane Show Podcast household. For a couple of things. And I'm just going to spell this out. This is kind of like a shenanigan type of story. But it's also really enjoyable and fun. I'm telling you, this all worked out so well. It was incredible. Before we get to that, though, I'm a little concerned because as I was getting started on the podcast here, I wanted to bend Diana's ear, my lovely wife, and say to her, hey, I may call you on the podcast for something I need to talk to you about. And people love hearing your voice, and you're fun. So this is always good to have you on the podcast. So I go, hey, honey. I'm like from at the top of the stairs. Honey. No answer. Honey. What the? So I start looking around the house, and I can't find her. And I go, well, I got to get to the podcast. I don't know where the hell she is. So I'm curious right now where she is. So I'm going to try to bring her in. I'm a little concerned. Oh, you're going for a walk.
I'm on my way back.
Why didn't you tell me that? I was panicked. I was looking around the house going, honey, I didn't know you left.
I told you I was getting ready for my walk. I'm 2.5 miles in.
Okay, well, I'm glad I got you because I wanted to talk a little bit about what happened last night.
What happened?
Well, when you have nightmares, on my end, I'm sound asleep, and you oftentimes sleep very close. So I'm guessing your mouth was maybe, I don't know, a half inch or maybe 1 inch from my ear.
Yeah, I had a bad dream.
Yeah, you did have a bad dream, and I don't know if you have ever heard yourself. I wish I could get a recording of it. You sound like some type of injured creature, maybe like a hyena or something. It's really terrifying.
Did it scare you?
Oh, my God, it scared the shit out of me. I'm sound asleep, and I hear, it's like from the video game Half-Life. It's really bad.
Well, someone was after me and holding me down, and it was scaring me.
Yeah, that's how I feel in real life when you hold me down.
Oh, Yeah, well,
All right.
I can't resist half the time.
I know you can't. It's a tortured existence.
I hear you. I'm sure.
Okay,
I mean, everybody gives you hard eyes.
They do give me hard eyes. All these ladies and men, they just love me. Everybody loves Eric. That's what this is. They just cannot get enough of me.
Well, you're a lucky fellow then, to be so loved.
Okay, all right. I'll let you finish up. I'll talk to you a little later. I'm glad you're okay. I thought someone stole you. I was freaking out.
No, honey.
Yeah, no.
Okay, bye.
Okay, see ya. She scared the hell out of me, man. She's on a walk. Never is she stolen. Okay, but this weekend, man, so the plan was we're going to go over to the east side of the state and see my dad for Father's Day. Now, you need a little bit of background going into this. For the longest time, I was under the impression that my dad no longer drives. He has this older pickup truck that he just loves. And and at one point he was going to sell it. He had been convinced to sell it because his reaction time is way slow. He's a danger on the road. And so how did I find out about this? Okay, yeah, I was having a conversation with my stepsister, Sue. This is my oldest stepsister. I have 3. This is Joanne's oldest daughter. And in the conversation, she said, yeah, your dad still drives. And I go, what? I didn't. And she goes, oh, yeah, and it's a big concern, and we can't get him to stop. And they've been thinking about possibly going down the road of, like, I don't know, stealing his keys. And so this is a big problem because this is like the one thing, this is like the last thing that my dad has. Well, I shouldn't say last thing that he has, but he really doesn't want to give up driving. And you have to understand the circumstances about this because when you're 86 years old, and I'll just be perfectly honest with you, it pains me to say it every time, but, my dad does have dementia, and ultimately, we are all in the same predicament, different points in time. And this is a thing that he is aware of. But he doesn't want to let go. I mean, imagine you being a person who slowly the things that you've loved are leaving you. And there could be anything. And this is the case. But at the same time, he cannot be on the road. There's no wiggle room here. You can't drive to the corner and back. You can't go to Home Depot. You just can't. So what to do? Well, no one's come up with a good idea, and it has led to huge brawls between him and his and Joanne and other family members. This is a huge problem about safety, not only for him, but for the innocent guy driving his family down the road. So what the hell is going to happen here? And I said to my stepsister, I don't know. I have no clue. I said, this is what I will do when I see him this weekend. I will just listen and see if by the grace of God there is some opportunity that opens a door. I will be receptive to that, and we'll go about it that way, and we'll see where it takes us. And she's like, oh, okay. So I know that means like nothing, but I was confident, I swear on a stack of King James Bibles, that something would present itself. So we went off on our adventure. Diana and me, we've got the motor home, and we're pulling the car behind us. We go all the way to the east side of the state in Port Huron, Michigan, at the base of the Blue Water Bridge on the border of Canada, and we park it there because there's no other RV parks nearby in Detroit because everybody wants to get out of Detroit. No, you'd be crazy to have an RV park in Detroit. Truth be told, I could have just parked it in my dad's parking lot, or in my dad's driveway, which is probably what I'll do next time, but we go there, and Friday we do our thing, and Saturday is the day we're going to go see my dad. And I go, hey, because they were talking about, hey, well, we call us when you're going to come over, and we'll go get some pizza. And I thought to myself, it's Father's Day. I don't want to do that. I want to cook for Dad. Excuse me. So Diana says, I got a great idea. Your dad loves lamb chops. I go, yeah, he does. She goes, I found a butcher shop nearby their house, and let's go and get some lamb chops. I go, this is awesome. This is a perfect idea. Oh, my God, he's going to crap. He's going to love this so much. So we go there. We get the lamb chops. They're beautiful. And then I even go so far as to go to Meijer and get a little grill, because I know he hasn't, his grill, it might not be working, and I don't think he's used it in a while. So he's I get there, I get out of the car, he goes, I got bad news, guy. What is it, Dad? The grill does not work, as I thought. And I go, no problem, Dad. We got a backup grill. Don't you worry about it. But upon further inspection, his grill was fine. I held a lighter up to the burner. It's a gas grill. It lit right up. I go, and he goes, how did you do that? I go, well, I mean, did you try it? Well, I smelled it. I go, what are you talking about? Well, I turn the gas on, and I see if I smell gas. And if I don't smell gas, well, then it doesn't work. I go, oh, well, maybe your sense of smell is going because the grill's going, man. So no worries. And he couldn't believe it, And he's like befuddled. And he's a little confused. I go, I don't know, Dad. Maybe he just did something wrong. No big deal. So I'm telling you, man, this was fantastic because we had the chops. We had this crazy great red potato recipe with roasted garlic on it, minced fine, and tossed in olive oil with the garlic blend on it, and little parsley snippets, and you lay it on a freaking cookie pan. You put it in the oven for 45 minutes. The potatoes are great. Oh, my God. Asparagus. We had lamb chops. We ate outside. And the whole time, this is the best thing in the world, the whole time that I'm preparing the meal, because the lamb chops had to marinate for an hour in a lemon olive oil mixture. I had to prepare all this, and that took significant time. So it's a lot of FaceTime, and that's what old folks want when they get together is FaceTime. They don't want you running around like an asshole, not engaging them. They want you to talk to them. So that's what we did for hours and hours and hours. So we got there at about 1:15, and we left at about 6. So that gives you an idea. That's some serious news, all face to face. So, about my dad driving, let me back up even more. This is how cosmic my world is, and it must be acknowledged because I believe it is all part of a big religious puzzle. Jesus lays me out all these puzzle pieces on a regular basis, and he says, Eric Zane, I want you to build this puzzle. That's what I want you to do. There's the pieces. Build that puzzle, and I want you to build it right now, and I want you to make it perfect. There's no missing pieces. They're all there. Put some fucking effort into it and build that puzzle. Let's back up to prior to the conversation with my stepsister. Jacqueline says to me after that Mercury Milan was sold, she goes, I want a truck. Oops. And I said, why do you want a truck? And she says, because I'm a hillbilly. I go, okay, all right, you're a hillbilly. And I go, and she wants like a something that she can't afford right now. But that was in my brain when I'm sitting there looking at the damn truck. And the topic came up about him driving, and he did indicate that he drives. Now, I did not bring it up. It just happened to happen. And Diana says, oh, you drive, Ruben? Yeah, I go to Home Depot once a week or something like that. Okay, all right, great. And then it hits me. I go, buy the truck. Buy that truck off of him. And so I approached it like this. I go, hey, Dad, I go, you know what's funny is Jackie wants a truck. I wonder if she would want to buy your truck. And he goes, maybe. And he starts it starts going in his head, And so now in my mind, whether I'm using that as a backdrop, but I don't care who buys the truck. If she's not going to buy it, I'm going to buy it. I want to buy this truck now because the way I looked at it is this. Whatever the cost of the truck is, and it's not going to be that much, the cost of that truck, if you could say to someone that for a certain amount of money, I can lower your risk of death or killing someone, you'd probably make that decision right then and there that's the right thing to do. So right there, my mind's made up. And I go, well, Dad, I'll tell you what, whether she wants it or not, I mean, I could use a truck because we're actually down a car in the household right now. And, with me going up north all the time, I could stop by Baldwin Ace Hardware, get some stuff, and throw in the back of the rig. And this is a fine running vehicle. I tell you what, Dad, if you're going to sell that truck, I want to buy that truck off you. Are you serious? Yeah. How much? Well, I want top dollar. I go, I know. I mean, whatever. I'm not going to haggle with you. Just tell me the price, and I'll buy it. So then I realize I got him, and he's thinking it. He's thinking about it. So I'm like, all I got to do is get this guy to commit to selling me the truck, and he's off the road. He's not going to kill anybody. He's not going to hurt himself. He's not going to kill himself. Holy shit, this is huge. And all the while, Joanne's just looking now. She's in on it. She's like, what? But I really want the truck. I really do. Now I'd be disappointed because I actually want it. And, oh, by the way, we're going to keep him safe. This is a fantastic thing that's unfolding. Jesus is like, you're getting close. You got the last piece of the puzzle in your hand. Bring it home, man. Close the deal, fucker. So he goes, I want $3,000. I go, okay. Yeah, that sounds good. This is the same way the negotiation went for the property up north. I go, all right, that sounds good. Well, I got to think about it. I go, okay, you think about it. Let me know. I go, if you don't, no problem. But I'm thinking to myself, please. So, then supposedly he's got all sorts of dangerous tools in the garage. Staple guns, saws, and stuff that he has put price tags on. Now, again, this is all about his identity. Now, he has done this. I did not do this for him. His wife did not do this for him. He does not use this stuff anymore. He's not going to be using this stuff anymore, but it's a little sad because was his identity. The truck was his identity. The property was his identity. These tools are his identity. So, but at the same time, and so you want him safe, but it has to be at his own pace. It can't be, you can't force somebody into something like this. So then he goes, hey, I go, hey, Dad, let's go take a look at the tools you're selling. Okay, great. And so I got this compressor, I got this staple gun, I got this nail gun, I got this saw, and I go, all right, I'll buy it. What? I go, yeah, I'm going to buy it all. Well, why do you need this? I go, well, I'm going to be doing some work up north. He's even got this thing that I bought off of him where I didn't even know this is a thing, but I will need it. He goes, this puts nails into concrete. I go, what are you talking about? Well, if you're going to build a shed, you need this guy. So you put like a round, like a shell into it, and then it shoots like a gun. Kablamo! And it puts a nail into cement. So I bought all these things off of him, and that's it. I bought it all, and I bought the truck. And so, but the thing is, Saturday ended, and he's like, I don't know. I'll think about it, guy. And then I go, all right, no pressure. If you change your mind, no big deal, Dad. I'm like, please don't change your mind. Please don't change your mind. Sunday rolls around. He calls me up. He goes, come get the truck. Holy shit. All right. So now people are fighting over the truck because I go home and Jackie's like stoked for this truck. Now, this isn't just any truck. This is a 2003 Z71 off-road 4x4. And it's a beast. It's got a enormous, what is it? It's either a 5.3 or a 5.7 liter motor. It might be a 5.3, which is a 3. It might be like a 327 or something like that. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's a 5. Either way, it's a pig. Just a bitch. Extended cab. And at the time, this was a unbelievably fine vehicle. Leather interior, fully loaded, old school Delco stereo. So here's what's wrong with it. It's got some rust underneath the doors, not on the doors, but underneath the doors, which I'm going to take that over to Metalworks Body Shop. They're going to fix that. And Yeah, it's only got like 130,000 miles on it. So I think that Jackie's like, I want it. And then I'm like, well, why don't you take my car? I'll drive it. I mean, this is a pig. This thing is going to use so much gas. It's going to be incredible. Nope, I want it. I go, all right, fine, whatever. So between her and I, we bought this truck because she got like $800 for the Mercury from Zaniac Kevin. Thank you again. So that's it. Dude will be off the road. And he goes, you know what? I'm really happy that you're buying this off me. I go, why? He goes, because it's you. It stays in the family. And I could not part with this if it was. That's the big reason why I didn't want to part with this. And so it all just, again, all of these puzzle pieces were just out in front of me. And I had no intention of this happening going into Saturday. Not a one. And it was that little door opening when he talked about it that it kind of just hit me like a bolt from the blue. This is so simple. For $3,000, which is nothing, I am going to guarantee that he will not die in a fiery wreck or smash into somebody who's got a little child. Holy shit, this is the easiest decision I've ever made. So this is fantastic. And I got a truck, and it's his, and he can see it again. And oh, my God. Oh, I'm so happy. This is absolutely the best Father's Day ever. And boy, did we eat. Man, I'm telling you that we spent so much time together. And let me just tell you this. If you have parents who are older, make this a priority. You must go and see them. And then your kids will see how you're treating your elderly parents. Treat them so well. I mean, my God, all they want to do is see your beautiful face and talk to you. And you know, get in the habit of just letting everything slide. Everything slides, man, because you know you just don't know what's going on upstairs inside of their noggin. So it was probably the best Father's Day ever that I've ever had. And that was just Saturday. Oh my God. So then, but it's not done, because after we wrap up there, I drive over, and I had called my mother and my stepdad, Wally. Now, they are in a facility. It's not a nursing home. This is apartment living with assistance is what it's called. They have top-notch medical care there. Their food is all served for them. But this is also the type of place that is been susceptible to attacks of COVID. And all of a sudden you see on the news, you know, assisted living facility decimated, whole community wiped out from COVID, which unless you've forgotten, it's still deadly and everywhere. My God. So I go, all right. So I call up Wally, and I go, hey, Wally, how are you? No bad. Okay, I'm coming to see you. Awesome. I go, what's the protocol? How do we work this? Well, you cannot come in. Okay, no big deal. We must stay 6 feet apart. We cannot touch, we cannot hug, we must wear masks, and we must stay outside. He goes, then we don't have any place to sit. I go, I got just a thing for you, man. We got these camp chairs in the back of the camper. We're bringing chairs. Bring the chairs. My mom, Wally, come out. Oh, my God, it was fantastic. We sat underneath the tree. It was nice and shady and fantastic. And just sat there and more FaceTime for about an hour and a half. And that was it, man. Wrapped it up, out the door. What a freaking time. I hope you had a great time with your loved ones and you were treated well. I came home Sunday and continued the shitty eating. My God, did I eat like a pig. Do you remember Diet Bet? Well, Diet Bet's not over. And I think not only am I not in the running for Diet Bet number 2, I think I gained it all back from Diet Bet number 1. I had 3 consecutive nights of ice cream. And 2 of them were custard, which is like ice cream on steroids. Custard is the best. By the way, Culver's always says that they serve custard. They don't freaking serve custard. It's ice cream that they call custard. It's a huge difference. Anyway, so I came back. Family, it was just fantastic. We had a cookout last night. All good. Just a wonderful, wonderful time. And so that's all in the shenanigans department and adventures department. I'm telling you, it was flat out cosmic how that all came together. So that means we got to go back over my dad's and get his truck. I feel blessed to be able to have that thing, and I can't wait for you to see me tooling around in my big 4x4. Tooling around, I should put my I can put my Confederate flag in the back and ride around and talk with all the shit kickers in Borculo and Dorr. I wonder if they'll buy my act. I don't think they will. The Open of the Eric Zane Show Podcast is brought to you by many key sponsors. In fact, I got to go, like I said, go over to Metalworks Body Shop and take my new pickup, my new Z71 off-road 4x4, over to Metalworks Body Shop. I talked to the guys over there, Ryan and Fran, and they said, yeah, man, we'll get you fixed up. You can check out their Facebook page. That's what they want me to invite you to look at. You can see it linked up at ericzaneshow.com. Now, here's the thing about Metalworks Body Shop. They are going to fix the truck. However, what they specialize in is what I'd like you to take advantage of: repairing damaged RVs. If you have a travel trailer that's got a huge smash up in it, a fifth wheel, a motorhome, whatever it is, they can take care of it. That's what they specialize in. The state parks just opened up today, in fact. So now, if it wasn't getting busy before, as people in the great state of Michigan head up north, it's going to be even more packed now. If you crack up the RV, there's a great business in Coopersville, Michigan called Metal Works Body Shop. That's where I want you to go. Click on their logo at ericzaneshow.com or go to metalworksbodyshop.com. Thank you. Green Clean Technologies, the next business I want to mention. They are they're janitors for data and high tech. Now, this isn't like the guy who's going to go through and pour sawdust on the pile of puke in the school hallway. It's not that type of janitor. What I'm talking about is all those minute, fine particles that you cannot see floating through the air that are surrounding all the data centers and whatever business that may utilize something like that. The technology that they have to make those rooms pristine is something that you and I have no idea about. The capabilities of cleaning those data centers is incredible at Green Clean Technologies, and they want to make sure that you know about it. If your business has any type of data center and you're not making that environment pristine, you're rolling the dice on things going crazy, okay? Dust particles, oddly charged particles getting on those key servers and instruments could wreak havoc. GreenCleanTechnologies.com, 989-560-7272. That's 989-560-7272. Finally, it happened over the weekend. My AC blew up. Yep. And I got a guy. Tu madre es una puta. I called upon Joe Martinez. Now, here's the scene. Joe's in Milwaukee visiting family. I'm screwed. What do I do? Turns out, initially I thought that something that I had put on the AC was doing its job. I had signed up for a thing with consumers called like the Smart Savers program or some shit like that, and they give you like a rebate. But they have, they put a governor on your AC, and that if there's ever a lot of high demand on a hot day, they like push a button, and your AC goes off for like an hour or two. And for all the people that sign up for it, they do that, and it's less strain on the grid, okay? So I signed up for that. So while I'm visiting my dad, I get a phone call from Jackie and says the AC's up. I go, oh, okay, that's just the Smart Savers program. So she's pissed. And she goes, what is this? I go, well, I explained to her. It's a governor that's on there. And a little bit of time goes on in the conversation, and she says, how did you get a hold of the governor to do this? I go, what are you talking about? And it dawns on me. She thought I'm talking about freaking Gretchen Whitmer. I'm like, oh, Jesus, Jackie. No, that's not it at all. I explained it to her. So anyway, this keeps going on and on. Finally, a day, there's no AC. And so I called Joe Martinez from A&E Heating and Cooling, and I said, dude, I don't think it's the governor. I think something's wrong. Sure enough, it was. He can't help me, though, because he's in Milwaukee, but he's got a guy, Ricky. He called upon Ricky, who's his, when he's out and not in town, Ricky's his go-to. Ricky shows up and determines that my compressor is shot. So he calls Martinez and says, Joe, this compressor is shot. You got to replace it. So Joe's headed over today. That's how it works with A&E Heating and Cooling. If he's not here, he's here, you know. So you've got a guy. It's Joe Martinez at A&E Heating and Cooling, online at aeheatingcooling.net. Or call him at 616-516-8579. Call him and say, get over to Zane's house. Last night was great, though, because it was nice and cool. I was sleeping soundly until Diana screamed into my ear. Jesus. All right. We got a little bit of bullshit to talk about. The NASCAR race this weekend was in a hotbed for hillbillies and racism. Talladega Motor Speedway in wherever, Alabama. I guess, is that called Talladega, Alabama? I don't know. Well, that's where the speedway is. A big race, okay? And they ended up canceling the race. It was a weather issue or something like that, so I'm guessing it'll race today. But this all happened overnight. I had several of you who sent this along to me, and I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. I was tipped off. This on the heels of NASCAR banning that shit Confederate flag, and Bubba Wallace driving the Black Lives Matter car. Black Lives Matter car, yeah, with the paint scheme of the whole deal, whatever. And some asshole. Yeah. I thought I heard somebody knock. Some asshole fashioned a noose and, well, here, let me just get to it. A noose, among the most threatening and resonant images from America's long history of white racist violence, was left in the garage stall Sunday of NASCAR's sole black dude. NASCAR said the incident took place at the Talladega, Alabama track. The garage stall was assigned to Bubba Wallace, who led the successful campaign to ban Confederate flags. That's right. He's the one who said, hey, knock this shit off. Everybody did that. From NASCAR facilities and events. In a statement, Wallace said, today's despicable act of racism and hatred leaves me incredibly saddened and served as a painful reminder of how much further we have to go as a society and how persistent we must be in the fight against racism. Yeah, you know, it's not going to happen overnight, and you are going to have a few bad apples, like the dickhead who flew. There was a dude over the track who rented a plane to fly. He's flying a Confederate flag over the track after it had been banned. Now, as it goes, whoever came up with that idea after the flag had been banned from the track to get it at the track with flying it over is a brilliant idea. It's shitty, but still brilliant. Frankly, I would have had fighter jets on hand to shoot the guy down in the event that happened, but that's just me. Again, race is postponed because of rain, so that's going to set the stage. You know, and who's the winner in this? NASCAR. It's like, shit, now people are going to pay attention to our race because nobody gave a shit leading up to this. I know I didn't. Now I do. It was be the first large public sporting event since crowd restrictions were imposed across the nation because of the coronavirus. 5,000 spectators were permitted in a venue that seats about 100,000. So it's just a shit show. Rained out, only 5,000 there. Some dumbass throws a noose in the garage stall. Confederate flag flying overhead. Within the speedway, the ban appeared to be successful, but outside a rolling protest of vehicles flew large Confederate banners, and merchants were selling souvenirs with the flag's image. Yeah, those guys are making a killing. The pilot the Confederate flag that was flown over the stadium, it said behind it, defund NASCAR. Wallace continued in his statement, our sport has made a commitment to driving real change and championing a community that is accepting and welcoming of everyone. Nothing is more important, and we will not be deterred by the reprehensible actions of those who seek to spread hate. So that is that. Pick up the pieces, and hopefully that won't happen anymore. I've got more on that, but I didn't want to throw it all in one segment. Later on, I've got an email from Zaniac Dirk, not his real name, has suggested now he's extremely conservative. I mean, big time, and he is not about statues being ripped down or anything, but he may be right in this regard. He's actually pretty damn smart, and he's enlightened me on a lot of things, and he's pretty bummed out about the whole cancel culture thing. So I'm going to read an email from him and talk about that, about statues coming down and flags being banned and shit like that, and what could be happening and what maybe tongue-in-cheek I think we should do. But, oh boy, Trump had a rally, and it kind of sucked. Shit. I mean, like, not it sucked, period. Shit, exclamation point. I mean, it sucked shit. Nobody went to the damn rally, and he's pissed off. Uh-oh, because this guy is used to nothing more than a sold-out venue or everybody there. I don't think they sell tickets or free. And then with like an overflow crowd of tens of thousands of people. Now, this is in Oklahoma, and how in the world did this happen? Was it the coronavirus? We're not sure. Was it, maybe people were concerned about that. Who knows the reasoning? There is a theory going around that a bunch of teenagers may have somehow managed to shut it down. I don't know if that's true or not, but all I know is this. Trump had said that an estimated 100,000 people would be there, with the 20,000 inside the facility and an overflow area set up for that many more. Well, they realized they were in trouble when there was only there was huge pockets of it looked like an American Hockey League game on a Wednesday night. I mean, seriously, it was that bad. It was horrible. And the overflow area, there was only like 24 people standing there. And they probably like, where the fuck is everybody? Well, hell, now we can go inside now. And there was supposed to be like a planned visit afterwards outside by Trump, like waving to everybody. They canceled all that shit because nobody was there. What's going on? Well, as you would expect, all the left-leaning publications are laying it on thick and beating the shit out of Trump. Who knows what exactly happened? But they talk in the article about how the risk of holding an indoor rally with thousands of people not required to wear face masks could be a problem. There was also several Secret Service people that were diagnosed with the coronavirus, which is terrible. By the way, did you see the video of, what's the guy's name, D.L. Hughley, the comedian on stage at Zany's in Nashville? I've been in there to actually see shows before, back in the old radio days. And he's sitting there on the stage, and he's telling jokes, and then all of a sudden, he passes out, and some guy rushes the stage and, like, catches him before he falls, and he's done. I mean, he's gone. So they think he's dead. And they said, oh, yeah, it's exhaustion. Oh, by the way, he has a coronavirus. Wait, what? He has COVID-19. So, bummer if you're in the front row of that show. My God. Can you imagine if they did that and then he couldn't be tested right away? It wasn't until later that they found out. But you know that there had to be somebody that came up and grabbed the mic and said, DL's a little under the weather. We're going to wrap it up. Thanks. That mic juice is all over his face. My God. So, all right. Trump's rally really stunk. 6,200 people showed up to cheer on Trump. What could have happened? Now, there's word that a bunch of a group of people known as Zoomers, which is you got millennials and then you got really young people, okay? That the Zoomers, as they're known, did like some guerrilla marketing via social media. And what they did was they would go ahead and use false identities or whatever and make up fake email accounts, and they kept like responding to the tickets and like getting them all. I guess you can online register with your email address or whatever it may be, and then you can be guaranteed a ticket. Some have suggested that movement got all of the tickets accounted for, and that may have led to a false bit of information to the campaign that, hey, shit, man, we got 100,000 tickets that are gone, and then some people who may have really wanted a ticket may have not been able to get that. The Trump campaign says, bullshit, we always massively oversell it, so there's no way that could have been the possibility, but who knows? But what I do know is that there is one thing that is sure. Trump marching out to the strains of Tom Petty, I Won't Back Down, is not setting well with Tom Petty's estate. I woke up Saturday morning and saw the article that there was a statement released from Petty's kids and his widow that they fucking hate Donald Trump and they don't want anything to do with him. So he comes out to...
Just a rude person you are.
He comes out to I Won't Back Down. And the Petty family wrote this. Tom Petty's song, I Won't Back Down, was used today at Donald Trump's campaign rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Trump was in no way authorized to use the song to further a campaign that leaves too many Americans and common sense behind. Both the late Tom Petty and his family firmly stand against racism and discrimination of any kind. By the way, people were quick to point out that Tom Petty, for like 9/10 of his career, would come out on stage with a giant rebel flag behind him when he was on stage. Oh, the volley back to you. Tom Petty fans then would go ahead and post the statement that Tom Petty made when he was still alive, that using that flag was, in fact, stupid. So I think that kind of extinguishes that. The Petty camp continues with, Tom would never want a song of his used for a campaign of hate. That's what they say about Trump. He liked to bring people together. No gray area there. Tom wrote this song for the underdog, for the common man, and for everyone. We want to make it clear that we believe everyone is free to vote as they like, think as they like, but the Petty family doesn't stand for this. We believe in America and we believe in democracy, but Donald Trump is not representing the noble ideals of either, the Tom Petty camp says. We would hate for fans that are marginalized by this administration to think we are complicit in this usage. Concurrently, we have issued an official cease and desist notice to the Trump campaign, signed Adria, Anna Kim, Dana, and Jane Petty. So there you go. Tom Petty's family says, fuck you, Trump. Petty died of an accidental overdose at age 66 in 2017. Said, I Won't Back Down had the most powerful impact on his fans. The song was released in 1989's Full Moon Fever, inspired listeners to send in messages about help them through tough times. It's a great song. It's one of my favorite Tom Petty songs of all time. Now, as you know, I am voting for that dumb shit Trump. I say that with tongue in cheek. I've said it many times. He said some of the dumbest things ever. How the fuck can you vote for him, Zane? Don't you worry about it. But I love Tom Petty. Will I ever stop listening to Tom Petty? Hell no. Some of you will, though. I saw right away on the post, people like, well, I'm unfriending Tom Petty. I'm not following Tom Petty anymore. Are you crazy, Tom Petty? He's the fucking best. Tom, he told me that he heard or read somewhere that it brought a girl out of a coma, Dana Petty said in 2019. It was her favorite song, and they played it, and she came out of a coma, which blew Tom's mind. A lot of people ask me what was Tom really like. Guitarist Mike Campbell said. And he said, that's him. He didn't back down. He stood up to everybody. Nobody told him what to do. On Saturday, Petty's family said he wrote the song for the underdog, for the common man, and for everyone. And then it kind of gets to what I already read about his statement. Benmont Tench III, a founding member of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, echoed the family sentiment, tweeting, "Second, absolutely. I in no way approve of Trump even whistling any piece of music associated with our band. I hope that's clear enough. Politicians and campaigns in the U.S. are typically free to use any music they choose for rallies as long as they pay for the rights. But numerous artists have asked Trump not to use their music, including Neil Young, Adele, Guns N' Roses, Pharrell, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Is that are they? What do they sing? Earth, Wind, and Fire that would be used for a campaign. Queen, REM's Michael Stipe, the Rolling Stones, Rihanna, and Aerosmith, Steven Tyler. Well, just use Lee Greenwood. Everybody uses. All the Republicans use like fucking Lee Greenwood, or David Allan Coe, or Hank Williams, or Hank Williams Jr., or fucking I don't know, Kid Rock. I mean, stick with what you. I mean, run what you brung, as they say. You can't. You know. All this is causing trouble to people who are conflicted like me. I want Trump to win, and I love Tom Petty. So what the fuck? What am I supposed to do here? Pick a side? Fuck that. I'm going to go listen to Tom Petty and wear a MAGA hat. I'm not going to wear a MAGA hat. You know what? I would never wear a MAGA hat, because some of these people that wear MAGA hats, some of you are fucking nuts, and you scare the shit out of me. I'm just going to say that right now. I'll get out in front of that. So Tom Petty strikes back at Donald Trump from beyond the grave. Okay, more coming up, including an old man who just wanted a Florida man. Florida man is back trying to get into a Walmart, and the Ford Bronco update. You're going to love this. But as you know, this is a listener and sponsor-supported podcast. And I wanted to quickly point this out. It's a little bit like NPR. The day the support stops, either for the sponsors or through Patreon, that's when I have to we gave it a good go. We're going to have to pull up stakes. And what I mean by this is the quickest way to help the show out is by doing things like buying a T-shirt or signing up on Patreon. That quite literally will satisfy the energy bill. That's what I'm looking to do. With your support on Patreon or buying a T-shirt or hiring me on Cameo, you move the meter for me. And if you ever wanted to help out this show and you think that what I'm doing has value on the free podcast, because I always was like, when I started this, I'll put out the free one, and if they like it enough, they'll keep supporting me. And you have. You absolutely have. But I sometimes like to take a little time to remind you that that is the quickest, easiest way to keep this show growing and staying viable. I do not have the luxury of millions of downloads like a Joe Rogan, where he can then go and sign a $100 million Spotify deal. I don't have that. But I do have my brain, my microphone, and you, okay, and my platform. And as long as I have those things, I can continue to fight and do this at this level, which is all I'm really hoping for. I just want to be able to have the rubber meet the road in this sense. If you think it has value, please support the show through any of the means that I just described. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you've helped in the past, please reconsider on helping again, or maybe just support the show in any way possible. Thank you. A listener and sponsor-supported podcast. Thank you to Blue Frost IT, 616-200-8550. Got some support from them this weekend. Zane, you don't need this. You need that. Huh? You already have a Wi-Fi extender, knucklehead. Take the one you bought back. Oh, God. I told you to call when you get in the weeds. Sorry. Blue Frost IT, they are a IT department for your small or medium-sized business. You can afford this. 616-200-8550 for Blue Frost IT. Think about them for your business. Finally, you have an IT department. All right. Horizon Hydroponics. If you're growing stuff indoors through the hydroponics method, they are the ones that have everything. I just learned that they have an entire line of products at Horizon Hydroponics, and you can't miss it because it's displayed prominently. They make this stuff themselves. You walk in, oh my God, this is the key thing to help your stuff grow. Could be the fertilizers, could be the additives. I don't know what the hell it is. Hell, my knowledge of this is limited, but I do know this. They move the meter and they can make sure that whatever it is you're growing indoors really takes off. Thank you to Horizon Hydroponics, whether you're growing tomatoes, marigolds, succulents, or the biggest, best cannabis on the planet. You know what I learned the other day? I learned that if you are growing cannabis, if you keep the light on the plant for a certain amount of time every day, it will continue to grow as big as a house. The minute you reduce the light to like 12 hours a day, that's when the buds start to grow. That's when it's time to harvest. So in theory, you could grow one as big as an apartment complex. I mean, wouldn't that be amazing? We need somebody to do that, just for kicks, to see how big of a plant they can actually get. Thank you to Horizon Hydroponics, online at horizonhydroponics.com, Horizen, hydroponics.com. Okay, audio to play for you. We've been talking about a lot of Karens, but I have a Florida man to get to. The way this one was described to me was, you've got at Walmart stores, you cannot get into the store, especially in some parts of the country, without a mask. Okay? And what you got here is this old-timer tries to fight his way into a Walmart to get into there without a mask. Now, I'm guessing about a 65-year-old guy, short sleeve shirt, old man jean shorts, pair of slides. Definitely not the type of gear you want to be wearing if you're going to be combative. The guy at the door who works at the Walmart puts his hands out like the safety patrol so that the guy can't get by him. The dude shoves the Walmart greeter. Walmart greeter then goes and runs ahead of him and does it again. Old man wipes out and falls on the ground. Guy shooting video is laughing hysterically at this stupid old man. Incredible. This continues on until the guy gets into like the waffle iron section of the Walmart. And all the while, the guy shooting the video is laughing. Other Walmart employees finally, this man has a realization that he's not going to be able to shop in the store because they keep asking him to leave. And they don't touch the guy, but the guy keeps shoving everybody. But they don't shove him. They handled it perfectly. This is the audio of what it sounded like. Fantastic clip of old man trying to get into the Walmart.
Sir, put your hands off him. Bro, you gotta wear a mask, bro. Bro, these folks is tripping, bro. Hey, sir, everybody got on masks, man. Everybody got on masks, man.
You want a mask, man? I got some.
You want a mask, man? I got some.
Bro, this is too funny, bro.
It's at this point the guy realizes he doesn't have the horses to get by giant Walmart guy who's like, Hodor from frickin' Game of Thrones. And then the Walmart backup shows up, and this guy finally gets it through his thick old man skull that he cannot, you shall not pass. And then gives up. All the while, this dude is laughing in his face.
Poor thing, man. Look, he got a look at it, bro. Bro, the man doing his job, bro. Just get a mask. Man, he just doing his job, man. Come on, man.
Everybody else is wearing masks. I ain't done shit to you. You're spitting all over the fucking place. Leave you out. You leave me alone.
That was the old man saying, you leave me alone. The old man is the one who's causing all the ruckus. Walmart guy is just standing there with his hands out like Hodor. Oh, my God. This is absolutely childish and hilarious. I love this. The people at the stores are so fantastic during all of this. I mean, I shop at two places. I shop at Meijer and I shop at Aldi. And, you know, each place has spots where it says heroes work here. And they really do, because they got to put up with so much shit. Oh my God, the things that these I am on such a bit of best behavior when I'm in these stores for a lot of reasons. I'm always smiling under the mask, and you can tell because everybody at the stores is just fucking at their wits' end, because nowadays, first of all, if you wear a mask, the non-mask wearers hate you, okay? They think you're a liberal. They think you're going to vote for Joe fucking Biden. They think that you hate white people. This is quite a crazy conundrum that we have on our hands here. And the people at the stores get so much shit from people. This is me in the store. I have my cart. I'm walking down the main aisle. I know that a bunch of people without masks are going to come walking right out in front of me, not even look both ways. And I'm smiling the whole time. I'm cautious as hell. Oh, please, after you. And I'm not snarky in any way. I'm just like, oopsie. I'm avoiding people. I'm staying out of their way. People are crazy right now. We are in the shit. Holy crap. All right, I will link that up. You can see it. Again, my quest to find out not so much that you read the show notes. Do you look at the links that I include in the show notes? Do you actually click on the video of old man wiping out in Walmart? It's fucking great. Do you actually read the accompanying articles? Because I'm like, why am I even doing this? Is anybody even reading this shit? But I'm going to keep doing it. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel like I've got something done. Ford Motor Company, you recall, they decided, all right, we are getting ready to unload our new Ford Bronco. And it's going to be a beautiful white vehicle that no one's ever seen before. The last time anybody really thought about the Ford Bronco was back when OJ was driving it around in June of 1994, okay? With Al Cowlings, AC at the wheel, with the juice, with a pistol to his head. Incredible. So why in the world would Ford Motor Company talk about unveiling their brand new, redone Ford Bronco on the Juice's birthday? Now, for me, I thought that this was one of the best stories that I'd seen in a long time. The fact that on the date of the murderer's birth, you're going to take the one thing, I mean, it was pretty much synonymous with the juice. As soon as you hear white Ford Bronco, you know what the fuck that's all about. You're not thinking about, oh, it's a new white Ford Bronco. You're thinking about OJ cutting those two people's heads off. It's horrible. So how crazy is it that Ford would unveil it in Detroit on the Juice's birthday? And I even said, if you're going to have it on his birthday, you might as well have OJ himself pull up in it and then, get out with like a white shirt with blood all over it, with knives going, hey, I'm back along with my ride. I mean, that's about as callous as it gets to have the white Ford Bronco be unveiled on the guy's birthday. You might as well go all in, Ridiculous. The dumb shits that run the Detroit Lions, what do you expect? Of course they were committed. Of course they were being obstinate, stubborn, headstrong about this. We need look no further than the shitty football team to know that that's the way of the world with these butt fucks. So it should come as no surprise that these cocks were digging their heels in about all of this. Okay? These are the same people that pissed off two of the nicest NFL football players that have ever laced them up. If you can be hated for a period of time by Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson, then you're a bunch of cocks, because those two guys are the greatest guys that have ever played football and two of the best at their position. Of course, their teams all were shitty, because they're run by the same cocks who want to bring the fucking OJ's birthday on the day that they unveil the new Broncos. So this all makes sense. This is another puzzle. Now, back to the puzzle. This isn't a Jesus puzzle, though. This is a devil. Saying, all right, this is a devil puzzle. You got the Detroit Lions, the White Ford Bronco, the Juice, his birthday, and all right, go ahead and build that puzzle, Mr. Ford, Mrs. Ford. It's stupid. Well, somehow, some common sense, unfortunately, got into the brains of the dickheads at Ford. They have rescheduled the unveiling of the Ford Bronco because O.J. Simpson's birthday is the same date. The reveal of the all-new Ford Bronco lineup will now happen on Monday, July 13th. Sorry about that. I thought that was his birthday. The previous date of July 9th is O.J.'s birthday. That was a coincidence. We wanted to be sensitive and respectful of this concern. You do now. You didn't then, because do you remember how you said, nope, this is it. July 9th is when we're going to do it, and that's the end of it. Forget it. Ford recently announced the reveal date for the hotly anticipated SUV would be July 9th. Hey, boss, that's the Juice's birthday. What? Are you kidding me? Yeah, he killed those two people. He cut their heads clean off. Well, maybe no one will notice. Oh, we noticed. Well, they've changed it. It ended up working out. But what a fiasco that would have been if they did it on his freaking birthday. My God. All right. When I come back on the next set of stories, we must talk about the killer monkeys. The killer monkey, I should say. There's been a rash of incidents that have taken place with monkeys recently. I've talked about this story recently. But this latest one is an alcoholic killer monkey in India. We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. I have a sponsor that sells AMSOIL, Jason Mays at JM Synthetics. You're going to kick my ass, Jason. I know my dad will, because I left his house the other day, and he called me back. He goes, you were supposed to bring the AMSOIL. Did you bring? I forgot it. But I'll see him this weekend when I pick up the truck. They sponsor Dear Meathead. If you need AMSOIL for your vehicles, your SUV, ATV, ORV, ABC, DEF, GHI, JKL, Marine, outboard, side-by-side, motorcycle, heavy duty, they have it. They invented synthetic motor oil at AMSOIL. Get it. JMSynthetics.com. Sign up to be a preferred customer. It costs you $20. Opens up all the product line to you at huge savings. You will save so much money right there that it'll pay for itself before you know it. It's like Costco for lubricants. But if you spend $100 on your first online shopping trip, Jason will give you that $20 back. That's a great deal, man. Take them up on that at jmsynthetics.com. Baldwin Ace Hardware, the kings of DIY goodness in the Northland. They bring you the Eric Zane Show podcast each and every day, a key sponsor, and they sponsor Diana. Every moment on the show that Diana is in on the show, like earlier when we had Diana to talk about her screaming in my ear in the middle of the night, is brought to you by Baldwin Ace Hardware. Sponsoring Diana since last week. I also got somebody reached out about sponsoring Benny the One-Eyed Wonder Dog. This makes perfect sense because O'Neill is sponsored by Irvine's Auto Repair. Bruce is sponsored by Grand Rapids Hybrid. Holy shit. Family members and dogs being sponsored on a regular basis. Thank you, Baldwin Ace Hardware in beautiful Baldwin, Michigan. Mark the date, July 29th. TC Paintball Paintball War number 8, the COVID Uprising. This is an evening event, 6 to 9 p.m. We have 2 events I'm going to tell you about right now. This one, reach out to me, ASAP. I need a head count early. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. You join me at TC Paintball in Grand Rapids. $35, you pay when you get there. We have a pizza party beforehand. $35 covers the field time, the gun, the mask, the paint. And boy, is it going to be great. Our first time back playing outdoor paintball at TC Paintball, unless, of course, it rains. I don't know. If you want to play in the rain, we can do that, too. It's up to you. I don't think it'll rain, though. 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on the 29th of July. You must RSVP, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. The following month, August 19th, that also is a Wednesday. That is a midday event for second and third shifters. Starts at 11 a.m., goes to 2 p.m. All right? Reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, for Paintball War 8, the COVID Uprising, or Paintball War 9, the Dog Days of Paint. Send me an email, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, subject RSVP. Okay, before I get to the attack of the killer monkey, I must tell you, I've got some email that I need to get to. First of all, Anthony reached out. Anthony Zane, a little bit ago, you told a story of how one of your dogs rolled around in skunk. I described it as skunk jizz. If you ever missed that story, we had just arrived up at Fear Bunker North, and I let all 4 dogs out. And all 3 are like eating grass, taking a dump. Bruce trying to hump Daisy. Where's Benny? I don't know. I look over there by the shed, and he's rolling on his back. I go, oh, look, he so loves the nature. He's just scratching his back. How wonderful. He just loves it here, man. That dog is so great. I turn around 5 minutes later, he's still rolling. What's he doing? Boy, he must his back. He really must love the feel of the tall grass on his back. That's what it is. Oh, he's so wonderful. 5 minutes later, he's still doing it. Holy shit. What's going on? He comes walking over, and he's found a big pile of skunk. I refer to it as skunk jizz on the ground, and he has rolled in it. So it's as bad as getting sprayed by a skunk. Well, we did an online search, and we found out we tested a remedy. And the remedy is this. And, well, I'll tell you the remedy because it, first of all, it worked great, what we did. And Anthony remembered that. He said, Zane, we had a problem. You had a concoction that you used to get rid of the smell, and it worked awesome. Would you share it with me? I have a dog that smells like a skunk right now. Please help. Thanks, Zane. Keep doing what you're doing. Daily listener from across the state. Signed, Tony. I got you by the hand, man. Here it comes. Actually, I sent it to him, and I'll give you his follow-up. You take 1 quart of hydrogen peroxide into a bucket or a bowl, big bowl. 1/4 cup of Arm & Hammer baking soda or any brand baking soda, and 2 teaspoons of Dawn dish soap. You mix it together so it's bubbly, it's sudsy, and then wash that dog. Wash the affected area well and rinse it well. Anthony responds how much later? 58 minutes later with, holy shit, it worked perfectly. Thank you so much for the tip. My wife also says thank you. She knows how much I listen to you. Happy Father's to you, Happy Father's Day to you, Meathead, and your son, Jim. Happy Father's Day to you, Meathead, and your son, Jim. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you, Tony. And I wrote, fantastic. It is remarkable. All right. Now something I'm not too happy about. Zaniac Dirk, not his real name. He's as far right as they come. So when it comes to any of this shit about ripping down statues or anything like that or banning the Confederate flag, he's pretty much against it. You got a lot of people that are in the culture that are like, we can't do this. It's slippery slope. And I'm always like, nah, it's not going to be slippery slope. And he says, no. And I go, well, what the hell? Are we going to rip down statues of everybody? Or he's like, yeah, is that we're going to do? I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, let's just rip down all the all the Confederate ones. He goes, well, I don't think that that's a good idea because, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want other ones ripped down too, like Washington or Lincoln. I go, well, no, not Washington. That's not going to happen. And Lincoln, well, hell, he freed the slaves. And I'm like, yeah, you're full of shit. He's like, you're full of shit. Lincoln, I don't even know if you know this, but he wasn't exactly the, guy who was saying say no to slaves. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he sent me all sorts of shit that he researched that really bugged the shit out of me because he was right. And apparently Lincoln wasn't so much about freeing the slaves. It was because of a lot of other reasons, wanted slavery to end. In fact, he even represented a slave owner in court, Abraham Lincoln did. So I'm like, fuck, man. So now what? 3 of the 4 presidents on the fucking on Mount Rushmore are a problem. What do we do now? He also indicated to me, more of your slippery slope, soft-headedness, because people are ripping down Washington statues now. Eskimo Pie is dropping their derogatory name over racial insensitivity. This falls into the camp about, like, Mrs. Butterworth. Now, boy, this is just a conundrum. Does everything get overhauled or nothing get overhauled? Or do we just keep taking it as it comes? My God. I'm kind of thinking everything gets overhauled. I'm kind of thinking that if you owned a slave or said anything positive about slavery owner, or you're doing anything oppressive, it's got to come down. There was the Museum of Natural History or something like that in New York or D.C., I forget which one it was, that had a statue of Teddy Roosevelt on a horse, and below him, kind of like he's towering over them, was a Native American on one side and a black guy on the other side. And the argument can be made that it's oppressive. And I kind of see it. I actually do see both sides to some degree. I do see what listener Dirk is saying, like about slippery slope argument, and it is happening here. We do have slippery slope going on. And I'm kind of thinking, fucking slide down the slope. Who gives a shit? I don't care if Cream of Wheat face changes. I don't care if all the statues come down, if anybody who's ever said anything great about slavery or did anything pro-slavery. I am anti-slavery. I am full equal rights. And if even one person is marginalized by the Eskimo pie, well, fuck it, get rid of it. Who cares? How does this change anything? And then there's the argument about the money. Lincoln's on the money. Washington's on the money. Change the fucking money. Who gives a shit? Does it mean we go ahead and destroy all the money and replace the money? Well, maybe. Who cares? Let's put some real great people on the money. Let's put people who were brilliant minds that weren't an asshole at one point in time. What's wrong with that? Think of the sweetest, nicest person you've ever met, okay? And then we'll do like a background check on them, okay? And if they pass the sniff test of the world, they can be on the money. So someone who's really peaceful and sweet. Think of someone who's a kind, generous, sweet soul. I'm not going to name any. Well, maybe I will. Me. You can put me on the money. We'll put Stu McAllister on the money. Well, he's not kind. Some of you Zaniacs have a good chance to be on the money. So, yeah, I think if you're not an asshole, you can be on the money. And if you've ever been an asshole and been not inclusive, you got to be off of the money, and Mount Rushmore's got to get... I'm not kidding here. I think this is bullshit. I think all these fucking idiots should come down. What do you think about this? And you're like, you're crazy, Zane. Am I? Why the fuck would we do this? Is this really that radical, just changing the money? Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Am I alone? I probably am. You guys all think I'm crazy, don't you? But I don't think we should have lunatics on the money who did crazy shit. I don't think we should have statues of people who had crazy views on the world. So Craig's like, all right, yep, slippery slope. Nick writes, you mean to tell me you were wrong? I am shocked. Shock, I tell you. Nobody could have predicted this. About slippery slope? Well, I didn't think it was going to go slippery slope. But since it is, asshole, who cares? Well, how is that going to affect us? It's not. It doesn't affect anyway. And who gives a shit if it's slippery slope? Now they're going to say this. Well, now, if we take them off the money and we blow up Mount Rushmore, then it's going to get even more slippery slope. Nope, no more slippery after that. That's the one thing. But if it does start to get slippery again, then what you do is what you do. You rebuild Mount Rushmore, okay? You put them back on there, and you put them back on the money. Say, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go into this with the mindset that the only slope that we're going to slide down is no more money, no more statues, no more depictions of assholes on mountains. We're going to be inclusive. We're going to be sweet. No more Eskimo pie. No more Aunt Jemima. No more cream of wheat asshole. Uncle Ben can go fuck himself. Mrs. Butterworth is a whore. But if you guys fucking try to take advantage of anything more than that, we're going to rebuild it all. And that's it. So you win. But the war ends here. Okay? We'll put George Washington Carver on the money. He made the peanut great. We can put Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman. Isn't she already supposed to be on the money? Seriously, didn't we put Harriet Tubman on a bill? And then I've yet to see one. Harriet, I'll ask the staff about this. Currency. Release date. Wait a minute. On April 20th, 2016, Alexander Hamilton would remain on the $10 bill while Andrew Jackson would be replaced on the $20 bill with Jackson being on the reverse. Well, when's that going to start? I haven't seen a one of these. Has anybody ever seen Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill? Did they lie? What? On August 2017, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said he would not commit to putting Tubman on the $20 bill, explaining people have been on the bills for a long period of time. This is something we'll consider. I thought this was a done deal. Hold on. While campaigning for President, Trump reacted to the announcement that Tubman would replace Jackson on the $20 bill. You know Jackson was a racist. The day following the announcement, Trump called Tubman fantastic, but stated that he would oppose replacing Jackson with Tubman, calling the replacement pure political correctness. Well, who gives a shit? And suggested that Tubman could perhaps be put on another denomination instead. Well, what's wrong with the 20? Who cares? What? Am I alone here? Why is this such a struggle to you people? Why do you people get so pissed off at this shit? It's fucking money. It's a piece of paper. You know how happy this would make people? Man. On 2017, August 31st, 2017, Mnuchin said he would not commit to putting Tubman on the 20. In 2019, he said no new imagery will be unveiled until 2026, that a new bill will not go into circulation into 2028. We'll all be dead. They wanted to do one deal where they would put Tubman on one side and then that asshole Jackson on the other side. You should have Tubman with a strap on pounding Jackson in the butthole on the bill. That's what you should have. That would make everybody happy. All right. Craig writes, here's the problem. Zane, The Constitution was written by slave owners. Therefore, it should be torn away. Then read the text. Article 4, the state, section 2.3. 2.3, no person held to service or labor in one state under the laws thereof, escaping into another, shall, in consequence of any law or regulation therein, be discharged from such service or labor, but shall be delivered up on claim of the party to whom such service or labor may be due. The Constitution gave us the freedoms we enjoy. That's the end game. Well, I can honestly tell you that article, I don't even know what that means because of the way that's written, because it sounds like it's all fucking old school legally. I don't know what's going on, Craig. Maybe, maybe not. But all I know is that this is so fucked up. Nick says, Eric, there is no sweetest, nicest person you've ever met. That person does not exist. Well, we have a little bit of a jaded world, no question. Well, what I ultimately think is going to happen is we're going to go round and round on this. Some statues will be ripped down. Some will not. Eventually, this will all be swept under the rug, and it'll be business as usual, unfortunately. Seems to have been the case for a long, long time. All right. So the headline reads, alcoholic killer monkey leaves one man dead and 250 injured after going on rampage when his booze supply dried up. Now you might be thinking, come on, there's no way. But no, it absolutely happened. We need look no further than the incident in Indonesia not long ago that I discussed on this very show. And that even had video. And I can link it up if I can just remember. In fact, I need to write it down now so that I don't forget. Hold on, because I will otherwise. Link up monkey. In Indonesia, part of the entertainment, I guess, is these monkeys kind of roam the streets. And this one in particular in Indonesia was seen on a motorcycle. Now, imagine how much joy you would have in your heart if you saw a monkey riding a motorcycle. I mean, seriously. There was the monkeys that rode on the backs of dogs at the local minor league ballpark, Fifth Third Ballpark here in West Michigan years ago. And it was incredible. I don't know if they do it anymore because there's some animal rights cock might have fucked it all up, but some brilliant man had trained the monkeys to ride a dog like a horse. And the monkey looked like Pancho Villa. He had an old school long sleeve check shirt and chaps and little monkey boots and a hat. And he's on the dog. And it was incredible. Now imagine the joy you'd see if you're in Indonesia checking out the sights. Maybe some lady who's actually a dude gives you a handy or something like that. And all of a sudden, peeling around the corner, you see some monkey riding a little 40cc motorcycle. Holy shit. And he's in the gas, and you're like, yes, this is great. This is what I came here for. If the trip ends today or if I get killed, it doesn't matter. I've seen a monkey on a motorcycle. It's incredible. Little fucker goes through the streets, and you see in the video, and I'll post it in case you never did see it, somebody's shooting video of the monkey screaming through this alleyway, and there's a little 2-year-old kid eating a lollipop with his brothers and sister, and the monkey sees the kid and wants to murder the kid. Quick as a flash, the monkey gets off the motorcycle. The motorcycle goes careening with no driver and kind of falls over while the monkey grabs the 2-year-old. Now, a monkey, even a teeny tiny little monkey like this, has the strength of like 3 or 4 men. You know that? I mean, a chimpanzee is as strong as like 20 men. It'll just murder you. This little fucker grabs the kid and starts running down the street, okay? No joke. And you see the kid getting dragged like, holy fuck. Kid's got his bottle in his hand. The monkey's dragging him through the street. He's going to take him to like his little monkey hole and eat him. And everybody's going crazy. And amazingly, the monkey loses his grip. And at the last second, somebody intervenes. and is able to get over to where the kid is. The monkey gets frightened and somehow takes off to resume his reign of terror. But, I mean, that's absolutely fantastic and terrible all at once. Well, in this community in India, this actually happened. The story was just published the other day, and I wanted to get to it the other day, but I ran out of time. It was published in the Daily Mail on the 18th of June. Some dude had a monkey, some crazy guy who was described as an occultist. So I guess he's, preaching end of the world or whatever. In this community known as Kalua. The monkey is known as Kalua, which is probably what he gave him to drink, Kalua. And in this community in India, he would give the monkey alcohol. Well, the guy died. And so daily he's getting booze. He stops getting booze, and the monkey starts to get the DTs, and he starts to become enraged. The monkey escapes and goes on a rampage through the city and massively injures 250 people with various bites and tear wounds as he tries to rip off their dicks. And actually killed a guy. The drunk monkey killed a dude while trying to look for a supply of booze. As he's prowling the streets in a rage, he targeted women and girls in particular, according to the story. Dozens of children left needing plastic surgery after he ripped open their faces with his fangs. It looked like the fucking Borculo daycare. Holy shit. The fucking local tot lot in Dorr, Michigan. The animal has since been caught and will now be kept in captivity for the rest of his life. Why didn't they just kill it? The 6-year-old monkey was eventually captured and hauled into the zoo, where the zookeepers discovered that he was not only an alcoholic, but that he refused to eat vegetables. The thing was just fueled on booze. The scientists believe the occultists may have fed the monkey fed the monkey meat to eat. Another possible cause of his indefatigable anger. They said he's supposed to have eaten vegetables, and he never ate those. They also noted the monkey had a propensity for attacking female zookeepers and would also attack the other monkeys it put in the same cage. My God. Therefore, been decided that Kalua will remain locked in a cage at the zoo for the rest of his days. Oh, just put him out of his misery. I mean, seriously, what's the? It doesn't say how the one guy got killed. I don't think. But they even reference a story about the monkey on the motorcycle. My God, you'll be able to see all of this at ericzaneshow.com or in the links, the show links in the show notes. Terrytown RV, I want you to go there. They had an amazing month. Have you heard about this? The RV industry is crazy. People have been buying RVs like it's going out of style because nobody's going to hotels anymore because of the COVID. They don't want to get the Rona. So, go to Terrytown RV. That's where you go. They sold 137 units last month. That is an absolute record. An 80-unit month is an awesome time. They sold 137. Was it a month or a week? I forget. But definitely go to their website, terrytownrv.com. See for yourself. They're on Division between 68th and 76th Street. Call up Terrytown RV, 616-236-2754. If you are worried about the coronavirus, you can, as always, simply go and tell them to bring one to the front, and you can go check that out. Thank you to Terrytown RV for being on board with the show. And finally, the Kent County Health Department reminds you to cough into your elbow. Okay? Be socially distant. Wear your mask. And know that they have 4 testing sites in Kent County for COVID-19. If you are struggling with a sexually transmitted infection, they can treat you there. It's not nearly as much of a difficult process as you might think. Reach out to their website, accesskent.org, or call them at 616-632-7100, fully staffed and working as of right now. Direct line for the WIC program is 616-632-7200. Okay. I want to play you a story. This is from locally. I talked about this. You got a lady in Granville, Michigan, who's been teaching little ones how to swim for about 30 years. She's got a pool in her backyard. And because we live in a day and an age where everybody's a little bit too sensitive, after 30 years of her doing this, they've decided all of a sudden, the locals, all the Karens in the neighborhood, that it is suddenly a problem. She's a resident. She's got a pool in the backyard. Hey, I'll teach your kid how to swim. Sign up here. You give her a couple of bucks. The kids show up there a few times. She teaches them how to swim. Next thing you know, the kid's not afraid of water. The kid can swim. Kid's not going to drown. Congratulations. But the locals had a problem. So they started a bitch. So now they're shutting this lady down. Bullshit. Listen to this.
That a woman who has been running swimming lessons out of her backyard for decades now being told that she has to stop.
Supporters say that her work is saving lives, but the city and neighbors say that having those lessons there is creating some problems in a residential area. Our Michael Martin joins us live with what the instructor and the city manager are saying tonight. Michael?
Yeah, guys, good evening. Rita Shalhoop has been teaching kids how to stay safe in and around water for the past 30 years, all from this swimming pool in her backyard. But now the city of Granville says those lessons are causing too many issues for neighbors in the area, leaving Rita to, after several decades, figure out how best to proceed.
We haven't had this much trouble since Allie Lyons lived here.
I've never advertised. It's just always been word of mouth.
Believe it or not, parents from around the country travel to this backyard in Granville so their kids can learn to swim.
We come all the way from Door. I mean, people come from all the way up north, all around.
But these aren't any old swim lessons. Miss Rita has a
I'm guessing that the Door license plate frame says Confederate for life.
Reputation for an aggressive teaching style that gets results.
My daughter is the kind of kid that doesn't even like her face wet in the bathtub.
I love these type of swim instructors. My kids learned from Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed was in Knoxville. This is what Mr. Ed would do. This is so old school. And you just heard it. Michael Martin just said she teaches an aggressive swim school. This is definitely what you want to do. If your idea of teaching your kids to swim is taking them to the local place or whatever, and, sign up, and in just 4 years, your kid will know how to swim. Bullshit. That's ridiculous. There is an easy way to teach your kids how to swim. The first thing you do is you get them used to the fact that the water doesn't harm them. So what Mr. Ed would do, and I'm guessing this lady did till all these assholes shut her down, was he would take a bucket, and Jackie was 2.5 years old, and she's sitting there wearing her little jelly shoes with her belly sticking out and her swim diaper on, her ringlet curly hair, and she's sitting there with an attitude and her double chin. I don't want to do it. And Mr. Ed goes, yeah, come here. Hey, I got a surprise for you. And she goes, what is it? And he takes a bucket and dumps it right on her fucking head. And she's like, ah! And he's like, yeah, well, here, how about this? And then he grabs her and throws her in the pool. He's hanging on to her hand, but she's panicked. And then he's just leading her around the pool. And after about a minute of that, she stops crying. And all of a sudden, she's good to go. She's swimming. That's the aggressive swim style that people like this probably use. I can't say for sure about this lady, but I know that's what Mr. Ed did. And let me tell you, by the end of the swim lesson, one swim lesson, Jacqueline was diving off of a diving board and able to swim. One lesson. So no pussyfooting around at these places. You gotta throw these kids in.
Day 1, it was a crying mess. Day 4, she's swimming on her own.
See?
Rita Shalhoop has been using her backyard pool to teach kids how to swim and be safe around water for over 30 years, since experiencing her own tragedy.
My son, I found him drowning in our pool at 3. He got through the gate, unlatched it. I was in the house, and he fell in. I became very aggressive with my teaching, knowing that.
Did he pass, or did she say he was drowning? What happened?
A small child has to be able to get
I hope he didn't pass. I hope she saved him.
themselves to the side. They have to know how to go underwater, because when they fall in, the brain shuts down and nothing works.
But this week, Rita received a letter from the city of Granville asking her to stop giving these lessons, saying that her business, which operates as a home occupation, is in violation of city code.
We've had complaints from a number of the residents in the neighborhood that because of all the traffic, they can't get their mail, they can't get garbage picked up, they can't get deliveries. So we've been trying to work with her for a number of years, and this year just ramped up, and the neighbors have really had enough and have complained to us and asked us to step in.
Supporters of Rita have started this online petition in an attempt to get the city to back down.
And I guess I didn't realize how many people in the last 30 years I've touched.
Racking up nearly 10,000 signatures in just one day. But the future of Miss Rita's swim program is still uncertain.
I mean,
Let me get this straight. All these busybodies in the neighborhood for 30 years, it's no big deal, and all of a sudden a couple cars are parked on the street, and they're going to have an attack of the Karens and shut her down.
Kids have learned how to swim in 3 days, so I think it's definitely the safety is more important.
It's just a short amount of time, 6 to 8 weeks in the summer.
That's it.
Only 16 days of night classes, and that's it. We're trying to make this work because I don't want kids to drown.
Yeah, and
she likes it. Leave her the fuck alone.
Spoke to the assistant city manager this afternoon, and he said if there's some way to get rid of the nuisance associated with the swim program, they would be more than happy to work with Rita moving forward. For more information, check out our web story at
6 to 8 weeks. Oh, it's such a
but
burden.
For now, live in Granville, Michael Martin, Fox 17 News.
A tough call there indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael.
Not really. 30 years. Leave her alone. My God. That's absolutely ridiculous. All right, let me, this story is fantastic and fascinating. I just love it. How many of you collect baseball cards? Probably a few of you do. Well, this is being described as the most elaborate, valuable collection of baseball cards that has ever been found. The story was just published the other day. Grandpa died, and they went into the attic, and they found an unbelievable find. They kind of knew that Grandpa was up to something because before Grandpa passed, Uncle Jimmy, as he's known, said, they said, Grandpa, your baseball card collection is terrific. It's gigantic. He goes, yeah, you ain't seen nothing. Wait till you see what's in the attic. And everybody thought he was like, yeah, whatever, and because, you go into his old man cave, and it was loaded. It was tons of stuff everywhere. And he kept what they would always say, but wait till you see what's in the attic. But nobody had ever really seen what was in Grandpa's attic. This is the deceased is James Miccione, who lived in North Jersey, okay? Uncle Jimmy passed at 97 years old not long ago. World War II veteran. He died in March. And so, oh, my God, Uncle Jimmy lived a great life. He's a veteran, so they had the 21-gun salute, the honor guard. They give the flag to the family. Oh, incredible. Now with the painstaking thing of going through all of Uncle Jimmy's stuff, my God, how about those baseball cards? He's got all those baseball cards. Holy shit, yeah, well... does anybody want them? Well, how about we do this? Since he did give them all to us in the will and said, you can do whatever you want with my cards. You can sell them. I built this for you. You can go ahead and auction them off. So they're thinking, okay, now we got to go through this stuff. But then before they really got into it, somebody said, hey, remember Uncle Jimmy always said, what about the attic? Well, they went into the attic. It turns out that what was in the man cave was nothing. It was the proverbial tip of the iceberg, because what they've located is the single biggest, most pristine collection of history concerning baseball cards ever that's been unearthed. But they kind of all knew it because he said, you wait till you see the attic. I can't wait to die, because when you go up there, you're going to be losing your mind. This crazy bastard from way back when, every baseball player that ever mattered, Jackie Robinson, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, he had all of their cards from when they were a rookie. And then what he would do is he would send a letter with the card to the player. Hank Aaron, Pete Rose. And the baseball players, all of the ones I mentioned, would get this card from Uncle Jimmy and say, will you please sign this card and put it in the self-addressed stamped envelope? I really appreciate it. I love you. God bless Uncle Jimmy. And so Babe Ruth would go, all right, Uncle Jimmy, all right, here you go. There's probably some ketchup from a hot dog on the card. So the Babe would write to Uncle Jimmy, I love you, Babe Ruth, and then put it in there and then send it back to him. So they go up there, and enclosed in like glass is signed Babe Ruth card along with the letter that Uncle Jimmy sent to the Babe to prove it all. So he's got the letter that came back from the Babe, Hank Aaron, all these people that I mentioned with the signed cards. The amount of money we're talking about here is almost too big to calculate. It's being described as the Babe's card headlines Jimmy's vast collection of cards and memorabilia dating back 90 years. All the greats meticulously organized in the best condition possible. Like mint, not near mint, like as good as new. Okay? This is more of a sound investment than any investment into any stock market. This is incredible. Every box was a treasure, Michione said, the younger. It took the family days to sort through the array of cards, all signed, clippings, ticket stubs, programs, carload after carload, weekend after weekend. Each box is $1 million. Here's another $1 million. Yeah, thanks. It's like boxes of cold hard cash coming out of the attic. Jimmy obtained the autographs through the letters, which he kept. Collection has left the memorabilia industry stunned. According to Wheatland Auction Services, this is the most amazing and iconic collection to ever be discovered. He's now auctioning off some of more than 100,000 of the items. My God. Worth millions. The auctioneer, however, said it's more than just an incredible collection. We started to piece together a story of this guy's life and helped inform the family of a lot of things he went through in his life. Jimmy's nephew said he believes his uncle intentionally left the family his collection as a gift. He knew exactly what he was doing, Michione said. He also knew that he had stuff that nobody retained, and it would be the only person on the planet to do this. And it's his way to maintain for the history of the game of baseball. Wow, that is truly fantastic. I love that story. Holy shit. Man. As always, your emails, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Emailer Tim references the joke from Indonesia, the lady that's a dude that gives you a handy. Apparently that got him. Also, Tim writes, referring to the drunk monkey, Zane, with all your experience and willing to help a hand, you should call the zoo where the monkey is and offer your sponsorship for the murdering monkey. Not bad, Tim. I think that's a great plan, but stupid. Imagine the pride you'd have when the monkey gets his 1-year sober pin. That one might be a problem. Hell, I can't even get with that one dude who we had from, where was it? Who was the dude? Mike. By the way, I have reached out to Mike, and I have had no success. The guy who put his car in a tree. I'm guessing Mike's not quite ready for that type of commitment, but as always, I am here if he does. Well, you're not going to believe this. This grassroots show of the most liberal Republican on the planet is over. But not quite, because the Patreon bonus podcast is mere moments away. Thank you for being part of this one, the freebie. Follow me on Twitter, at Eric Zane Show, the Blue Frost IT Twitter handle. Facebook, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. Instagram, follow me there for Instagram Instant Trivia, brought to you by Bennett Flooring Installation on Wednesdays and MB Distributing. Instagram brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Listen to the audio podcast. Downloadable on Apple Podcasts. Just search Eric Zane Show on Apple Podcasts. It's right there. Or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also found at ericzaneshow.com. Thank you, folks. I appreciate you for being on board. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.